Hi guys, this is Edwin Joseph Christie. This is Lab 2 Data Warehousing with SQL. We'll be using Jupyter Notebook. We'll be executing basic SQL commands and creating charts using Jupyter Notebooks. So let's get started. So today's table of content for this presentation will include screenshots of the basic SQL commands, screenshots of the charts which we created, link to the YouTube video, and an interactive part at the end of this presentation. So this is the database and the table which we created. So we created a table called students with 10 rows and 10 columns in it. So we executed the SQL command to create 10 rows and 10 columns. As you can see, we select the new table with 10 rows and 10 columns. In input number 5, we add a new row into the database, that is a new student with the name Mary. And in output number 6, we see that new row that was added. We use the delete command to delete a student with the first name Taya. As you can see in output number 6, we have that student Taya, and when we go down to output number 8, that student disappeared. It's because we just deleted it. Now we just need to update the ID of the students preceding that student just to make sure that we have a consistency in the IDs of the students. So we use the update command to update the ID of the students, and we have the select command just to make sure that the ID got updated properly. We use the wildcard command on the first name to find the name beginning with matching letters. We also use the wildcard command like to find the email beginning with the matching letters. Then we display a specific column from the database, from the students table. We display the email ID. We use the same logic to display two columns, that is first name and the email ID from the students table. The next command which we used was the alter command to add a new column into the table. So we added a new column called phone number right here. As you can see, the phone number has a none value for all the students. Then we use the update command again to make sure that all the students has a phone number associated to them. So we use the update command. We have a phone number associated to each student right here. We use the drop table command to delete the table, and we use the select command again to make sure that that table doesn't exist anymore. The second part of this presentation was to create a visualization. So we imported the library, we created the same students table with 10 rows and 10 columns, and the first chart which we created was a bar chart. We have the number of students from each city, and then we have the order by command on the second value, that is the count city. We also have the name for each axis right here, and we created the first bar chart. Then we have the pie chart, which we use the same count city for each student living in each city. And then finally we have the bar chart again, but with a different color. And then we use the Jupyter command to convert the assignment into a .html file. So I'll be showing the HTML file in the interactive part. So the link to the YouTube video will be uploaded at the end, and thank you. So now let's just jump into the interactive part. We loaded the SQL module. As you can see, we have the SQLite. We created the table with 10 rows and 10 columns. As you can see, we have the 10 rows and 10 columns. We inserted a new student, and the new student is right here. We deleted a column with the first name Taya. So as you can see, Taya is here right now, and then when we select now, Taya disappeared because we deleted it. We update the student ID for consistency. Right now it's 293, 295. We made it 293 and 294 and 295. And then we use the wildcard like command right here to select the first name from students. So first name like underscore Raj and percentage sign. So the first name beginning with matching letters. We also use the wildcard on the email ID, and then we display the specific column. So we display the column email ID. We display two specific columns, that is a first name and email ID. We also use the alter command to add a new column to the database. As you can see, we added the new column called phone number. And when we select the data from the database, it has a none value right now because we haven't updated the database. So now we use the update command to add phone number to each and every student. We use the update command, and as you can see, every student has a phone number associated with them. We use the drop command to drop the table. We select it to make sure no such table exists. We use the second part was to create a visualization. We created the same student table and created the first bar chart to count the number of students in each city. We have an axis name for each axis, the x-axis and y-axis. We use the order by command, as you can see right here. We have the pie chart too, with the students living in each city, and then we have a bar chart again with a different color with the hex color. And then we executed the Jupyter command to convert the assignment into an HTML file right here. And this was the HTML file that was created, and that is the HTML file which we have. Thank you guys.